minutes ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First down, being chased out left. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Check me out. We got 3.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, we got 3.
Detroit!
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Leopard!
4 down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
52.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it.
Gun!
4th down, here's Jackson. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Detroit!
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Jackson will throw again.
Alert 16! Alert 16!
And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Jackson, that is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Browns getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Last stop!
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Rosen off the play action. He's got a man complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
3 down, 3 down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Rosen. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. A really good pickup of 28 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally. They usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
And you'll also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Gun!
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone. So
wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
This is the fullback. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Check 37. Check.
Leopard! Leopard!
3rd and goal to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Flush to his right.
Crash down. Crash.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
58's the mic. Go 58's the mic.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Hey, watch the slap.
They go play action now. Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Agba in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And
all right, now, lucky
56.
56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
You gotta stand up over there.
Gun!
Mike 29.
Gun!
On 3rd down, Rosen. Buying time to his left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Always got some breathing room. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Good job.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level, and not of that age.
Here we go.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? Because he had enough confidence in himself that
Watch it now, Barney.
Played pretty well the rest of the day.
Here we go.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
They go play action. It's Rosen. Eluding the pressure right. Looking deep here for Ebron. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore.
No. Check. Patriot.
Three down.
Detroit.
On 1st down, it's Rosen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
29 is the mic.
Hot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
29 is the mic.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From midfield now, here's Rosen. And this one is incomplete. Landry, the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Absolutely, very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. On play action, Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll be taken down at the 18. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and makes creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Zadarius Smith in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies and try to hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he completes it to Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Terrence Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Check 50, check 50.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means they're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Forced out to his left.
Crash, crash, crash.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get to Rex Grossman.
That's
Detroit! Detroit!
After the interception, here's Jackson to Mixon on the check down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
All right, now,
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time
56.
you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up first and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his pass incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
On 3rd and 1, Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Needing the 10th yards, they run it with their fullback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Patriot.
Rosen on 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets a 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid
now,
game.
lucky 56.
Facing a second
Lucky
and
56.
2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth.
Once again, for the EA Sports Game Day Award, our winner is sitting in section 19, row 33, seat 6. Your winner of the Please bring your ticket to the screws.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
29 is the mic.
Detroit. Detroit.
Now Rosen looking to throw.
I got you.
Dancing to his left. He's going to look deep for Perriman. It's caught inside the 25.
We got three down.
He'll get this one down near the